Hi, you guys. It's Priscilla. Welcome back to the Groomers table. Today's guest we have Jose. But before we get into any questions, we're gonna get into our snack. And also, Jose, just let loose, okay? Be comfortable. Okay. We're gonna eat some hot Cheetos today with some limon. Hold on. Brought my chopping board.
Consuela.
Right? Some bowls. Okay, here's the thing. I didn't have tapatio. I know you might have some here though, right?
No.
Oh.
I ate it all.
You ate it all? So we're gonna use some Valentina. I don't eat tapatio anymore because it's way too spicy for me. And I like the way Valentina has like a sweet taste to it. Anyways.
Oh yeah, we used to do this when we were younger. So when we were like, how old were we?
Like 13, 14.
Yeah.
See, these are way too spicy for me, so I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to do this. But yeah, this is the OG way. Some good lemon and chile, and that's it. I know nowadays everybody's putting like all this other shit in it, pickles. Okay, maybe a little bit too much cussing, but sorry. But pickles, cilantro,
Chamoy.
cucumbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't had it that way, so I can't be a hater, but this is the good old-fashioned way. All right. And I didn't bring the lemon squeezer, so you're gonna have to use your fingers. Sorry, your hands.
My mouth is already watering.
Do we have gloves here?
Yeah. See, I was gonna bring chopsticks too, because I was like, I'm gonna show you the new way of like doing it, but I forgot.
I know, I've seen people use chopsticks. I'm like, I don't know, I'm not too good with chopsticks. I don't know. All right, so let's get into, who are you, Jose?
Who am I?
Yes, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Jose, and Priscilla and I have known each other since middle school, so we're best friends. We've been friends for a really, really, really long time.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm basically here in Riverside. I'm 32 and single.
You had to throw that out there. Single.
Yes, nobody's tied me down. But
he hasn't let anybody tie him down. Correction.
It's because I know my worth. But yeah, and then I manage the Riverside shop for Pause at Me.
Yes. Very cool. And how did you get into working at Pause at Me?
Honestly, it was because of like a whim. So I was at Amazon because I decided I didn't want to do customer service anymore after doing it for so long. And I basically got hurt. So I found out that I had a hernia, so I needed to like kind of take a break.
Yeah.
That's when I messaged you, and I was like, I knew that the Riverside shop had just opened, so I was like, oh, did you need help? And then she's like, yeah. So I came, tested it out, and realized I liked it. Everybody doubted me at first, though.
I was his biggest doubter. I was like, this fool is not gonna last more than 2 weeks.
Yeah. And everybody was like, does he even like dogs? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Hold on. Before we get into that, I need some gloves. I'm going to go grab some gloves. I'm sorry.
Sure.
And we're back. No, I had to go get some gloves. I didn't want to get my fingers all red. I think one is good. One is good. But yeah, when he first started, I remember I was like his biggest doubter. I didn't think this was something he was going to like. And mind you, like a lot of people when they get into working in a grooming salon, they usually don't last because they have this like concept of like they're just gonna come here to play with dogs, and that's not how it is at all.
It's not.
Did you think like that though? Did you think you were gonna come play with dogs?
Yeah. Honestly, everybody, because right when you hear like grooming salon, everybody's like, oh, you get to play with dogs, blah blah blah, and then come to find out, I mean, You see dogs taking poops. You see dogs wanting to get the hell out of here. Like sometimes dogs are very anxious, so you get to learn all of that while working here.
No, that's very true. And you know what's funny is though that you said earlier, like you quit Amazon because of the customer service, but boy, you're back to doing customer service.
Just kidding. No, honestly, it's because I'm meant for it. I feel like my personality.
You do really well with like people handling situations.
Yeah.
You're very personable. You have a great attitude with them, so I feel like they definitely.
Yeah, like a lot of like especially like regulars, I feel like it's very like important to like build that bond with like people, especially like learning like about their lives or like the little stories that happen like when they come in, because like sometimes people just want to be heard. And it's very important to me at least to kind of create that bond with the customer, not only the customer but their dogs as well. So it's like, hey, you know, I know you come back here often, so let me gain all that information from you. Let me learn from you a little bit, so that way when you come back in, I let you know, like, hey, how's this going? Hey, how's that going?
That's awesome. I love that. So, like, just to give you guys an idea of how Paws at Main runs, we have receptionists. So the groomers don't come out and talk to the employees. They don't come out to talk to the customers. Jose and Corey, who are both our receptionists for both of our locations, they do that. They check in, they check out, they communicate with the groomers, they communicate with the customers, and they handle all of that. So Jose knows a little bit, or knows a lot of it, of what goes on. And I know most groomers, they're scared of like having a receptionist because they want to be able to communicate with the customers. But anybody who's worked in the reception area, they started bathing first.
Yeah.
And you have to know everything that goes on in the back, like coat, how these dogs act and everything like that. Now, can you tell me a little bit about like your experience with that, like coming from a bather, now being a receptionist?
Well, basically, like, if it's like a regular or a dog that we already know, it's easier for me to be like, hey, you know, your dog does this because I've already done it. Or if they are really good, it's easier for me to be like, hey, your dog's great. Like, oh, because sometimes I'll get people that'll be like, oh, my dog is very bad at home, blah, blah, blah. And so now learning that, it's like, okay, well, you have to think about dogs are kind of like kids. So when kids are in front of their parents, they want to do whatever they want, versus being in somebody else's care, they're like kind of nervous, kind of scared. They don't know what to do. So they're actually most of the time very good. So just coming from the back to reception area, now I know what behaviors dogs do. I know if they're matted. I know all that good stuff.
Would you say that it's important for a receptionist to know all of what goes on in the back and like to have that knowledge?
Yeah, only because like if you're gonna start off as a receptionist, I mean, if you don't know what happens back there, then you're not gonna really retaliate information. You're not gonna, or not retaliate, but gain information about like coats. You won't know about matting. You won't know about different hair types, or even necessarily like behaviors, I would say, because dogs are all different. Mm-hmm. They're all gonna behave differently, and especially like gaining that knowledge back there, it puts into perspective that the dogs need to be washed right in order to be groomed right.
Amen. Amen. No, that's awesome. So the topic of today though, so obviously we got to know you a little bit, who you are, and you know, your background here at Paws at Main, but I wanted to talk about failure today. As I feel like there's definitely groomers out there, or even bathers, or receptionists, or even business owners, whatever position you have in a grooming salon. I think a lot of people are scared to fail. So I definitely want to talk about failures, and if you don't mind, you know, talking about maybe failures that you've had. Or how you feel about failure.
Well, at first I couldn't accept it. And the only reason why is because like I'm a perfectionist. So when I when I go into a new thing or when I want to do something new, which is like managing the front, it was very, very new to me. I thought I knew everything, and that was very like, that was me putting myself up on a pedestal because I was like, oh, I'm in this position now. Oh, I got this position for a reason, which, you know, I did get that position for a reason, but that doesn't mean that I know everything.
Yeah.
So, having to learn that the hard way was like just messing up in a few areas. Hey, I wouldn't say like a few areas. I was messing up a little like bit constantly, and then all of a sudden it all came down on me.
Yeah.
To where it just like was a rough, like I want to say maybe 3 months.
Oh yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, a rough 3 months, but you know, it was hard, but at the same time, I feel like I've grown a lot. I know a lot better, and it's definitely helped me develop into a better manager. And I know it's more is gonna come. It hasn't even been a full year that I've been a manager. So when we progress and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm so gross. I just burped.
I didn't even hear it. Was so quiet.
With that, I know that I have a lot more room to grow. I have a lot more things to learn. And, you know, obviously one thing that I'm currently doing at the moment is I'm kind of pushing myself to learn how to do tidies, which is a little aspect of grooming.
Yeah.
It's a little bit getting in there, but it's because I need to know more. So I want to know more about shaving. I want to know more about like grooming, hair textures a little bit more, because I mean I do know all that stuff, but yeah, failure is one hard pill to swallow if you don't like it.
But it's crucial.
Mm-hmm.
I know one thing that I always try to explain to everybody is like, when I tell them, hey, this is the way it has to go, or I want you to make this certain decision, it's because I failed and I want to make sure that you don't fail. But sometimes we got to let you guys fail because you don't get it until you actually do it yourself. And then you're like, oh shit, she was right. Shouldn't have done this. Or he was right. Shouldn't have done this. But now I know. And then you can move on. I feel like failure is very important for success. For you to succeed, you need to fail first. And then, you know, work on those things.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard, you know, at first, because I mean, I've told you this, and I haven't been really open with like a lot of people about that area of my life where it's like, you know, I'm a hardcore perfectionist, and if I do fail, I don't like admitting it. I'm gonna get a little bit emotional.
It's okay.
But yeah, like it was a growing period for me. Like it was very hard for me to like accept, and you know, I want to always be better. And I think that's what like kind of like drove me to grow and be better, is because it was like, I know I want to be better. I know I want to be better for myself. I know I want to be better for the girls, my best friend, and things like that. So yeah, sorry.
I love you. I've always told you though, like, you're not perfect. You're never gonna be. Like,
and that's hard.
I mean, it's okay to be imperfect, but no, like, I get what you mean though. Like, you want to make sure you're doing your job right. Yeah. And I mean, like I said before, like, it's okay if you have little mistakes here and there, as long as you work on those things and know next time, like, hey, I'm not going to do this next time, you know? Exactly. You come a long way. Oh my gosh. I mean, a long way. And I feel like you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. You're going to make mistakes though. Yeah. You are not perfect. I'm not perfect. Y'all ain't perfect. Like, you're going to make mistakes, and it's just part of learning. It's part of life. Yeah. You know? And I mean, I would definitely say, like, even just knowing that you want to do tidies, that's, like, I feel like you do everything. It's like you're booking appointments, you're checking in and out people, you're, you know, bathing, because he still bathes. Yeah. You're bathing, and now you're wanting to do tidies. You're doing an awesome job. So you're doing it all. Yeah. Except maybe, like, the full grooms, but you're doing it all, and you're wanting to know every aspect. It's crazy. Like, you've been here, what, like 2 years now? Going on 2 years?
Yeah, this year would be, actually, yeah, 2 years would be this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, now, I want you to talk about it, though, like, what you do now to, like, when you're not sure of something, you go to a certain source.
Yeah.
What is that? I want you to talk about it.
So actually there was it's a book, and I don't remember the name of the book, but it's here in the shop. It's a blue book, and it's about grooming, obviously. It's basically my source of any time that I feel like I have doubt, or any time that I feel like I am doing something, or even like crossing like a boundary, because obviously like groomers are not vets. Like that's one thing that like we aren't, and obviously we get those questions from people like, why is my dog itching? Why is my dog doing this? Why is my dog doing that? And you know, we have an idea of it, but I also, that's one of the main sources of that book that has reminded me that I can't cross that line of being like, your dog has a skin condition, so I can't diagnose your dog, you know? So I have to be like, yes, I did notice like some redness while I was bathing your dog. I don't know what that is, but I would definitely go get it seen by a professional to get a professional's opinion, you know, a vet.
Yeah.
You know, or if I need to learn how to, it tells you how to do nails better. It tells you about why you shouldn't put water water on a Frenchie's face, you know, like because of their breathing issues, you know. There's a lot of different information about different dogs inside that book that has really, really, really helped me out. And oily coats. You could put, if you didn't know, you could put baby powder on an oily coat, let it sit there for 10 minutes, and then bathe your dog. Like, obviously get it all off, make sure your dog is really bathed right, and then the oil will be gone off of the coat. So
nice.
Yeah.
And that's good information to have. I feel like this book, I've had it for so many years, and I left it in the salon. So here at the salon, I've taught mostly everybody. Mostly everybody, not everybody, but mostly everybody. And that book is, I've given it, I handed it down to mostly everybody. They've never read it. They've had to fail miserably. And then it's like, you know, for instance, Jose now goes to that book because he had a situation where they did diagnose.
Yes.
And the customer was really upset. And again, it's okay to fail. It's okay to have these situations happen because then you learn from them. And I remember being like super upset, and I was like, why did you guys diagnose her in the first place? And then Jose, I don't even know, how'd you even find the book?
Because it was sitting inside the drawer. And then it had happened like not right afterwards, but I had seen the book inside the drawer, and I was like, let me open this and let me start reading it. And then I realized that it had all that information in there. It had information about like the dog's discharging sometimes while the groom happens, and that's normal. So right when I seen that, I was like, if I would have read that book before I opened my big ass mouth.
I wouldn't say that was your fault, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to another opinion that obviously like we both didn't know, so it wasn't our fault, but like at the same time we had the resources to educate ourselves.
No, most definitely. The resources were there. Y'all didn't take advantage.
Yeah, so that that's the only reason why I opened that book, is because like once I realized like, you know, I'm failing and I want to be better, so I know that book has like a lot of information. Let me go ahead and read it, and it had what I needed in there. And so anytime I do doubt myself, I do go back and read it, because I'm like, like, did I make the right decision here? Did I make the right decision here? And obviously I don't just read that book. I obviously ask you and Eddie about it, because I'm like, you know, I can't make every decision by myself. You know, and I do have bosses too, you know, just because I'm a manager, I do have bosses.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm like, it's really helpful.
No, I definitely agree. So like, if you guys ever I'm trying to remember the author of this book. It's like Melissa Verplank or something. I might be saying that wrong, but it's the Groomers. Is it the Groomers table? Is that what it's called?
Politely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This one. Oh, okay, I did say it right. Okay. Notes from the Grooming Table by Melissa Verplank. Yes, that one. This is a really good book, especially if you're like, I mean, even if you're a new groomer or you've been grooming for years, it's always good to go back and just, get a refresher. Definitely if like you have a dog, especially like if you're a groomer and you have a dog and you haven't done this dog, you don't really see this dog. That's what I do. I go back to this book because I'm like, and I like to challenge myself. So I never say no to a haircut because I'm like, all right, let me see if I can do this. And this book has so much information and like how to properly do the haircut, what blades you use, everything like that. It's very informational. So like if you're a new groomer, or, you've been grooming for years and you have no idea, you've never heard of this book, get yourself a book. It has some really good information in there. And also too, if like you're second guessing yourself, go to that book. And if you're a boss and you have employees and you guys don't go to like grooming expos or anything like that, or if you guys don't, really educate yourself continuously, like get yourself this book. It definitely helps. I love having this book, and I love that, Jose, that you've taken some time to actually sit there and read it, because I'm telling you, I've passed this book around so many times and not everyone reads it. Yeah. And it's like again, you made a mistake, and again, I'm not like, I wasn't really angry at you because I had to sit back and be like, okay, like I didn't teach him that, but it did make me mad too, because I was like, I gave y'all the book. Like, the information's in there. But at the same time, like, that's where it's okay to fail. Like, even for me in that situation, I felt like I had failed you guys. In the moment, I was angry at first. But then I had to sit back and be like, okay, well, I didn't teach them that. So that's my, that falls on me. And I wasn't upset failing them in that moment, because I was like, okay, now I need to do something different. Now I need to do better. And it's okay to fail. So I love now that anytime you have like any like, you second guess yourself or you're not sure of something, that you go back to that. And again, that is because you don't want to fail. And you want to make sure that you're, you got your back. Yeah,
exactly. It even taught me like how to bathe better. So that's why I'm like, even after reading that, I was like, I felt like, obviously I did know how to bathe. It's just that kind of like helped me bathe even better. Yeah, dry better. Make sure you get the double coats out. Make sure there is a way to blow out matting. There is, obviously not all matting. We can't blow out pelted dogs, FYI. But it does help you blow out loose matting that's already like not to the skin, but you're able to blow it out. Yeah. So, I mean, it does have a lot of information in there, and I appreciate that a lot from that book specifically.
Yeah. What would you say your biggest challenges have been since working in a grooming salon?
I feel like my first one was like obviously getting over my fear of German Shepherds. I was terrified of German Shepherds. I don't know. It's you know what it is, like, don't judge me, y'all, but like when I think of German Shepherds, obviously my mind goes directly to cops. And it's not necessarily that cops are bad. Like, I'm not saying that. Like, don't. I ain't saying all that. I'm just saying, like, I think of German Shepherds, I think of cops and, like, how they're trained. And I'm like, oh, my God, like, I'm scared of them. And, like, obviously, like, some of them are huge.
That's so funny. I'm sorry. I can't believe. Okay, it's like, I get it, but I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like, I don't know. That's where my mind goes to. So I was just like, oh my God, like, I'm afraid of them. And they look scary, to me at least. And so I was just like, oh my God, like, here we go. So having to get over my fear of that. And then honestly, like managing groomers is a challenge within itself.
Yeah.
A reason being is because like obviously I don't groom dogs, but like that's like my new challenge is like I want to be able to say that I can do this in order to like manage my employees, you know, like obviously I manage 4 girls. One has almost 11 years of experience. The others have almost 3 years of experience, and then we have another one that has a year of experience.
A year, yeah.
So it's a challenge within itself, you know, like I have to be at the top of my game every day to motivate these girls, you know. I have to be at the top of my game to help out these girls in situations, and obviously I can take information from them too, you know. So that's why I'm like, at the end of the day, the challenge within itself is coming into a new field that I was brand new to, you know, like I like I said in my video, like I didn't know what a golden doodle was. Like I was like, a golden doodle, what is that? And then like a ton would be coming in and I'd be like, okay, it's its own breed. And then I found out it's a mix, so.
Its own breed, no. Yeah, it's a mix. They're cute though. They're cute mixes, okay? I'm not hating on golden doodles or doodles of any kind. No, I would definitely say like you and I tell you all the time, like I can relate to how you feel, because it even just, you know, having to manage anybody, like it's a lot of work. And everybody, there's so many different personalities. And not everybody's gonna understand the stress that you have or the weight that you carry for them as well. Like it's a lot, but it's so rewarding at the end of the day. Like today, you know, we're having a conversation with you where I was like telling you, I was like, how does it make you feel that you have inspired or motivated someone? You know, because like Evie Grooms just posted a video, and I was just like, you know, like I know you, and you know, you pretty much told her like, hey, you should do this. Like, how does that make you feel? You know?
Yeah, it makes me feel really, really good. Like I told the girls like on like in separate conversations, you know, like when my job as a manager is that like, you know, I need to make sure that all these girls have work, you know, all these girls are happy within the workplace. But not only that, like, you know, like obviously my first and foremost is to make sure that Paws at Maine is running good. You know, but the girls knowing that I kind of motivated them is just like, you know, just by talking to them, being personal with them is like something that's very, very, very important to me. And it's because like, you know, obviously like if you don't have a relationship with your employees, it's gonna be even harder to like motivate them. So when I see someone that Evelyn, you know, specifically, she's newer, I'm like, why isn't she posting? You know, because obviously you guys see the page if you guys are watching this. So we see like who's all posting, who's all on there, but we don't really see like Evelyn, we don't really see Steph, we don't see Francisco, we don't see Sadie, or even Jason, you know, like we don't see them a lot. So it's just like, my main thing is like, why? You know?
Don't even see me a lot.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so my main thing was like, why aren't you doing this? And then I'm like, okay, well, let me think of an idea like that can help you out. And so when I gave her that idea and she kind of did it, I was like, oh my God, like that makes me really, really happy, because, you know, I want these girls to feel just as important as anybody else does, you know?
Yeah.
Because we are a whole, you know, this is a whole.
Exactly.
This is a business.
Yes, exactly. I love that. No, most definitely. I feel like our job, especially yours, is to, you know, come in and, you know, set the foundation of like how everything's gonna go. Your attitude and the way you come into the salon is so, so important. You have to be the example for everybody.
The backbone.
The backbone, no, yeah.
Yeah, like, and the way that I look at it is like, if I fail, these girls fail, you know? So it's just like, or if these girls fail, that means that I failed them in some type of way, you know? Because I'm like, that's how usually it is, you know, the captain goes down with the ship.
Yes.
So it's like, if my girls are making a mistake, it's like, okay, you know, where was I wrong at as a manager? Where can I work on? Because, you know, we're not perfect.
Yeah.
We're not perfect, and that's like, it's something that you have to learn.
Yeah, and I hope that, you know, for those of you listening or watching this, Positive Maine is definitely run different than other salons. We have girls who come in here and they're like, this is different, this is new, because the culture that we have here is like, we're a team. You don't come in here thinking you're a independent, independent contractor, like those people who work, you know, they get commission here, but like, you are not just here to do your job and then leave. Like, we are here to help each other grow as a whole. And we're gonna help each other out no matter what. So when, like, if you're listening to this and you're like hearing Jose saying like, I'm the backbone, or like, you know, if they fail, I fail, it's because we're literally a team here. It's not, you know, you're here by yourself and you're doing this and you're getting it done and then you leave and that's it. No, it's like, if someone needs help, we're going to help them. And if someone is dealing with something, we're going to help them. Like, that's how it is here. That's the culture here.
Exactly. And like, especially like if, you know, because there'll be times where obviously I do the front, but there'll be days where I'm also bathing. So like, if I can't help out one of the girls, like, let's say the dog is moving around too much for the nails, sometimes we need 2 people to do the nails. Or, you know, if a dog comes in matted and they need to be shaved, most dogs don't like their front legs touched. They don't like their legs touched. So when that matting is like pelted on them, you have to hold them and coddle them so that they know that it's okay that you're taking that off, you know? Exactly. So the girls always will need help. And it's great that we kind of have that environment here where we can all help each other out, you know?
It's a beautiful environment. I love it. I've worked in different salons where you're on your own.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna help you. If they help you, they're gonna want half of your commission or some of your commission. That doesn't happen here. Mm-hmm. I definitely try to make it known, like, we're here to help each other out if needed and pick each other up, and you know, that's the vibe here. For sure. I mean, I don't deal with all that other stuff. Y'all can go work somewhere else if you're going to come in with that attitude.
Yes.
But for the most part, that's how it is, and I love it. So you haven't even ate any of your chips?
No, I have been. It's just
look at my bowl, and then his bowl is still freaking full. What the hell?
It's because I get embarrassed because, like, if you guys don't know, I have really shaky hands.
The other question I have for you, Jose, is what advice do you have for anyone who is thinking about either becoming a groomer or even just working at a grooming salon, whether it be a bather or receptionist? What advice do you have for anyone?
So FYI, it's not a dog play center. Obviously, dogs do come in that are really, really cute because we do get puppies, you know, you get to hold them and like, there's that benefit of it, but it's like, when you come in, you do have to make sure that the dog safety is always first. Like, no matter what it is, the dog safety has to come first. So when it comes to that, you need to make sure you're aware. You need to make sure that you're paying attention. Like, and one major thing that I do not like is if you have headphones in. Like, girl, if you got 2 headphones in, I'm gonna tell you something. Why? Because obviously this is my first time ever that I've worked for a small business. I love it, but I've worked in corporations where it's like, you know, they have certain rules. You know, you can't do certain things because things can happen. So I've carried my mentality from there to be like, you need to be self-aware. It's not easy. Sometimes it is easy. I want to say about 80% of dogs are easy to handle, but there's going to be times where it's going to be difficult. Mm-hmm. And you need to make sure, another thing too, like, your energy is very, very neutral. Like, dogs feed off of energy. If you are not aware of that, then maybe you shouldn't be a dog owner, but
or a dog groomer.
Yeah, or a dog groomer. If you can't get yourself in check, the dogs will feed off of that, and you will it will be bad, you know, like it's not saying that the dogs will get hurt or anything like that. It's just that the dogs will be 10 times more nervous than they need to be. Another thing is that you need to be aware that if you're gonna start out new in this business, it will take time for you to learn, and a lot of people are impatient.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have that patience to want to learn to grow, and that's the sad part. Is like, you know, you see a lot of people, sometimes they'll come and go, but it's because they either can't get with the culture, they can't be on time with things, because we do have a set schedule, and if you can't keep up with it and it's too much for you, then it's probably not the job for you. And I'm sorry to say that. It's just that, like, you know, we have a way that we run things, and that's the way that we do them. And some people want a luxury of being a Just Rona groomer. And I'm not, no shade to her, no shade to her. I'm very, like, proud of where she is now, but like, she built herself up from somewhere.
No, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, to have that luxury of grooming 2 dogs a day, you know, like, that's not a reality though. So a reality is that you will have a set schedule, and you will have to keep up with that set schedule until you either become known or whatever it is you want to accomplish in your goals. But in reality, you need to keep up. You need to be on time with your scheduling, and you know, you all will have those bad days that dogs will either, the first dog of the day will set the tone for the whole salon. So like, if one dog poops, the entire dogs will all poop because they smell it.
Oh my gosh, yes, that is so true. Well, that's great. I mean, that is really good advice. Sorry, that is good advice. Whatever, you know what I mean. But no, I definitely feel like you have to come in with the right mindset that, you know, this is a place where you're gonna come to work, not play with dogs.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. And make sure you come to work like in a good mood. Like, don't come in with that stank attitude. Like, don't nobody want you to be here. And if you do have a stank attitude, I mean, I will correct you, but
yes. But that is all that we have today. I thank you, Jose, for coming on to the Groomers Table today. Where can people follow you at?
The Work Life of Jose?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my Instagram, I believe.
And he's going to be working on some content very soon, so give him a follow, you guys. And I just want to say thank you guys again for watching, and we will see you guys next time.
Yes.